spray on buildings if we do want to raise our uh, our profile.
I just
How about we
realized
just do
that
like
I adjusted something on my VPN and I think it briefly disconnected and then reconnected the stream. So we are streaming again, but hopefully there was a, we might have another one of those, one of two that's 5 minutes long and then the rest of it. Um,
Um,
hooray.
the the last trigger is express the goals, drives, inner conflict, or essential nature of the crew.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Okay, so
Barely competent but able to survive. That's the essential nature of the crew.
Well, and so we're also going to talk about like the difference between because there's rep and then XP, right? So you're still
Mhm.
talking about the XP triggers, correct?
yes, yeah.
Right.
Okay.
I think we did because we explained to them, why we wanted them to come and work for us.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Hmm.
All right. So I'm looking for the all the rules to just make sure that we can capture all of this
And did
accurately.
we use we have elite infiltrators, but that's our one guy, right?
Yeah, that's Slade. And you didn't like you sort of like narratively talked to him towards the end, but you didn't really actively use him
Yeah.
during the job.
Oh, and we've got. Are we friends with Vera, a switchboard operator? Is that the one that's?
yes,
Yeah,
we
I mean,
are.
you didn't like she didn't wasn't really involved in the job, but that is one of your crew contacts.
I'm just kind of trying to remind myself of all the fleshing out we want to do at some
Sure.
point. Drag these characters in.
Hmm.
We it wasn't a black bag operation, so we didn't try that. Oh, you may attempt to install surveillance equipment during a score on any faction's turf.
So
So we
that
should have
that
done that.
reminds me, yeah. So that was something that we sort of talked about initially and then forgot during the actual job. But I was willing to say that in the very same way that you can do a flashback during a job, I'm willing to essentially give you the opportunity to say that you did that. Now that said, the place that you are would be leaving it behind is the stripped out, no informants left information nest they had. So how much you'll hear from them um,
Although we
is
weren't able to take out the equipment, right?
no. You took out a bunch of
We
it.
took out a
Did we
bunch
take
of
out a
it,
bunch?
yeah.
Okay. I know
Yeah,
I
and that
wanted to. I just
went.
couldn't remember we did.
Yeah,
Um,
right. So I think yeah. For some reason in roll 20, I'm still not able to load the sheets. Like they're giving me an error message. But as long as you
Hmm.
can see them, then I think that's fine. So uh, yeah, you gain mark all of the appropriate XP, and that's I think you're going to have. Um, I don't think you probably have enough for an advance yet, or do you? Am I
no,
wrong?
we're at 6 of 10.
Okay, great, great. So now that we uh, are you've got the XP move. There is also rep, and rep is a measure of clout and renown. When you accrue enough rep, the other factions take you more seriously, and this is how you can get to a higher tier. So when you complete a score, your crew earns 2 rep. If the target of the score is higher tier than your crew, you get 1 + 1 rep per tier higher. Limmerfield Gang is tier 2, so that means they're currently 2 higher than you. And so that means that that's 4 rep for that job that you just did. And I
Okay,
believe you
so
need to get to 12 rep in order to do an advance.
so we got 4 more,
Or,
which
yeah,
puts us up to 8.
yeah,
Okay.
great. And I'm, flipping around between all of these things. So the other thing that we have, first of all, there is a payout. And I think that we decided when we created this job that it had a payout of 5 stacks. So you do have that, and I think that basically reflects the sell value of other stuff that you took, and or just the value of your you've got the informants, but then you also got some just petty cash,
Mm-hmm.
and that represents 5 stacks. However, you owe a tithe to your ward boss. So the what that means is that your tier plus 1 is what you owe. So your tier is 0, you owe 1 tithe to your ward boss. And so assuming that you go ahead and pay that, then everything else stays the same, and you can mark now that you as a crew have 4 stacks, or you could divide that amongst yourselves however you like. So you can have it as crew stacks, or you can distribute it to individual stacks for each of you. You can handle that however you like. It's essentially inventory for you.
On the crew sheet, it
Mhm.
only has space for 4 stacks in total.
Mm-hmm.
Looks like, and we have 1 stack.
Yeah.
Um,
But you also can have individual stacks. But also, what you do eventually, when you can bank stuff, you can stash.
okay.
Let me pull up the rules for that.
So do we want to take 1 for the crew and 1 each
Yeah,
to divvy those up?
that seems like a good idea.
All right, let's.
So we each get a stack, and then we have 1 for the crew.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Conveniently works out mathematically, right? So.
Yeah, I'm pulling up the yeah. Let's see, 196. I think is my page that I want here.
Unless we wanted to buy something with the stacks, right? Because that's coming up
Yeah,
in downtime.
but I mean,
Well,
Well,
and
we
so,
could pool them
yeah,
together at that point anyway.
What you can
yeah.
also do is like stacks you can use to buy additional downtime activities, for example,
mm-hmm.
or
Oh,
you can
yeah.
save them up for other things, because sometimes there's a variety of things that you could use that for. I'm trying to search through the PDF, but yeah, so you're yeah, so yeah, so you are. I'm looking through that, but yeah, so that's what you have, and then eventually, player characters, eventually can have stacks, but then you also put money in the bank, and if you ever have to retire your character, how much money you have in the bank determines like how comfortably your retired scoundrel can live. So there is some value narratively in saving up in that way. Note that both, I believe, for putting money in the bank, it stays there, right? But if you ever need to bring it out, you bring it out at half value. So you have to take 2 out of the bank to have 1 in hand.
That's not interest. That's disinterest.
Yeah.
Well, you're supposed to leave it in the bank. That's what the bank wants, and so of
You have
course
to
they know.
liquidate a building or something.
Yeah.
I know.
Let's see.
Better off putting it inside the wall.
My mattress.
Yeah.
Okay, so 158 is the So here's the stacks in bank. So monetary values: 1 stack is a fat wad of bills. It's a week's wages. 2 stacks, you could get a fine firearm. Fine, notably, is a little bit mechanically here, meaning it's a little bit more, it's like higher value. Or a fashionable suit. 4 stacks would be a month's wages or a briefcase full of cash. 6 stacks, a luxury watch or exquisite diamond, a stolen autopod. 8 stacks, a small safe full of cash and valuables. 10 stacks, a significant asset, etc. More than 4 stacks is an impractical amount to keep lying around. You must spend the excess or put it in the bank. See the next page. You can also store 4 stacks in the base by default. If you upgrade to get a vault, then you can store 8 and then 16, but with another upgrade in your crew headquarters.
Right.
The bank, when you mark your character's final deadlock and they retire, the amount of cash they've managed to bank determines their fate. And
Mm.
so it's, you know, you each, so when you want to put stacks from there, you can just mark it in the bank. Um, and this also determines your lifestyle, basically. Each full row of bank, which is 10 stacks, indicates the quality level of the character's lifestyle, from 0 street life to 4 luxury. Primarily, this flows into effect, especially in social situations. If you can take someone to a nice restaurant, you're wearing impressive clothes, all of this might factor into increased effect for social actions. You can also roll lifestyle as a fortune roll, for example, when bribing a guard or doing acquire asset. But then if you ever want to withdraw stacks from the bank, you do so at a cost. For every 2 stacks removed from the bank, you get 1 stack in cash. So now,
Okay.
because you have not yet sold your briefcase with the Blue Raker plans, this is really your first actual payout. So congratulations.
Yay!
We got money.
Yeah.
I like money.
So, we did, and so we did the rep. We did the tithe, and I assume you did pay the tithe, correct? You decided to do that?
Yes.
Just
Yes.
for the record, if you ever decided that you did not want to pay the tithe, and it's worth noting that as you increase in tier, the tithe increases in tier also. And for example, if you started getting big enough that maybe you feel like we don't need to keep paying a tithe to the Dirt Barons, we're not actually, we're more impressive than they are. You can always choose not to pay it, but it starts adding a tick to the 4-segment anger clock. And every time it fills up, you lose 1 faction status with them. There may be other reprisals. So there may be times when you feel like you want to hold on to that tithe, and you can do that, but there are mechanical consequences.
Got it.
So let's talk about heat. How much heat? So if the crew went loud with their loadout, we would consider that. But let's say, so 0 heat would be if it was smooth and quiet, low exposure. I don't think that's the case. 2 heat is contained standard exposure. I'm inclined to say that's maybe where we're starting, because certainly you were exposed to the local people there, but you didn't really get anyone else involved. Like there wasn't blue coats showing up or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
So it was really just like, certainly the people that were there knew, but you didn't kill anybody, so it was like there was no need for blue coats or section 6 to get involved. So I'm thinking start with 2. In addition, you add extra heat for a high profile or well-connected target. I don't think that's the case here. +1 heat if it happened on hostile turf. It did not. +1 heat if you're at war with another faction. You're not. +2 heat if killing is involved, but you didn't. Notably, this happens whether the crew did the killing or not. So nobody got killed this time, so it's fine. No explosives were used, I don't think, and no military-grade weapons were used. So we're still at 2 heat. And that's, of course, additive onto whatever you had left from last time, which I think you had a little bit. You didn't get it all the way down to 0, or?
We had 2 left, yeah.
Okay, so now you're at 4. Which is going to be relevant when we talk about the trouble engine. But we also need to do harm complications. So let's start with Silhouette. What types of harm do you have right now, especially because I can't pull it up right at the moment?
A level 3 electrocuted harm.
Okay, yeah. Is that the only one?
That's the only harm I have, though.
Okay. I think I'm trying to remember now, because in the book, it has this happen. See, what we did last time is that we did the downtime actions first, and so you had the opportunity to heal the harms before we did this part. But I think in the book, it suggests that you do it first. So that's what we're going to do this time. So 1 level 3 harm means that you're going to roll 3d6 for your harm complications, and you're rolling it on the level 3 harm table.
Okay.
Wait, so hang on. Yes, that's right. So you're rolling 3d6 on the level 3 harm table.
Okay, so that's just a fortune roll. There's no...
Yeah.
Nothing fancy about it. If I can find the pop-up. There we are. 3 dice.
Okay.
And this is harm. All right.
Okay. So with
Oh,
a
I think I got
6,
maximum.
a 6, your complication is that you are impaired. One of your
Ah.
highest rated actions is at -1d for the next score. And you remove 1 dot temporarily. Don't forget to put it back after the score.
Okay. Does the harm stay, or is this the?
No, yeah, it does stay, and so you have to heal it or remove it in the
Okay.
typical way. But yeah, so that downtime action of trying to heal it will determine you get this just by being hurt. And then you're going to try to not be hurt anymore. But if you stayed hurt and didn't heal yourself, it could continue to even get worse.
Gotcha.
All
I
right.
think yeah, okay.
How about Crash?
I have 2 level 1s and 1 level 2
Okay.
harms.
So that means that you're going to roll 4d6, 1 each for the 2 level 1s and 2 for the level 2, and you're rolling that on the level 2 table.
All right. How do I? Oh, there we go. Fortune roll.
Mhm.
So 4 dice.
Yes. Okay, so 5. Self-medication. This character must use one of their downtime activities to indulge vice during the personal business phase, and they take -1d the first time they do.
Okay. So
It just means that you were probably going to do the indulge vice move. It just means that when you do it this time, at least if you do it more than once, you would only have to do this for the first time, but you would roll 1 fewer die than you would otherwise. How about you, Red?
I still have a level 2 gunshot wound.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's all it is.
Okay.
Yeah, I have a level 2 arm shot.
Okay. So then that would be just 2d6 on the level 2 table.
And we're rolling
The fortune rolls.
I always forget that the thing goes from my sheet and I roll 2 dice with it. Not
Yes.
2 bonus dice or just
Just 2 dice. Just 2 dice.
I think I'm doing this wrong.
There's the fortune roll button just underneath all of your stats. And all that asks is a number of dice, and if you want to put a message with it.
We already. I know you were posting that not in the chat here, but Crash. We've already established that you have a brother Byron. Although that might be his nickname. You might have a
Yep.
Bang and Boom nicknames.
Crash, bang, and boom. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, is that the family?
That's the whole family. Yeah.
Because you have Byron the test pilot, if you remember. So with a 5 result, then you have the self-medication that Crash did, which means you're going to roll 1 fewer die when you do indulge vice next.
Okay.
Okay, so those are the harm complications. And then we're going to talk about faction status changes, and it's annoying that Roll20 is not letting me look at your sheets. But if you want to pull up the factions sheet, I think the only one we're going to really get into here is you're going to lower your faction status with the Limmerfield gang by 1. And I think it doesn't spread to anyone else because they don't want anyone else to know that they got stolen from.
So it gets lowered by 1. It's at 1 now, goes to 0, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I think you only had the +1 before because they liked that they thought you attacked the Keel twins.
Ah.
Now they don't know what to think about you.
They don't, because they don't have any information, because we stole their information, people.
So now the unwind phase, which is we have to decide before going back to personal business, how does the crew unwind? And I know, like, at least one thing that comes to mind is that you were showing movies to your new informants, Ada and Afton Ascot. But that's, just one option. I don't know if anyone has a particular idea in mind. There are tables that you could roll on for ideas if you can't think of one.
I mean, can we just watch a movie?
I mean, movie night is fair. This is anything you want it to be. The idea is just something that the crew does together to unwind. If you remember in Ocean's 11, they all go look at the Bellagio fountain at the end. That's what we're talking about here. Is the crew has accomplished a mission, and now you need to blow off some steam.
So we watch movies through the projector, and there's fancy snacks.
Oh, fancy
like
snacks.
weird fancy snacks, like, I don't know, little mini hot dogs in Jello or something.
Oh God.
Whoa. Got to get those 60s themed.
Some ambrosia going on here.
Yeah. Little dishes of ambrosia.
Hatered movie.
What kind of movies do you watch?
Spy movies.
Yeah. Well, I mean, let's make up some in-world movies that you watch.
I'm a big fan of the 119 series about a spy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. His name is Band.
Oh, okay.
Bane Band.
Bane Band?
Bane Band.
Nice. Yeah. Okay. Does he work? What does he? What like government or whatever does he work for? Or is he an independent contractor?
I think he works for himself. Yeah.
I was just going to say you could pull up the faction list.
I was thinking about doing that. I was
yeah.
Let's do that.
Because sort of like the closest equivalent to MI6 would be, like the Imperial Palace and their whole, they have the intelligence agency. I'm trying to remember the name of their, but like working for the palace. But that said, you maybe wouldn't necessarily root for but then again, maybe you just think it's kind of fun and silly, right? Like you know, even though that's for the masses and what spy that the average person would want.
Yeah.
I could imagine too that maybe the organizations they have in there are parodies of the actual Duskfall ones. So there's like the Dust Brothers instead of the Dirt Barons.
Yeah. Well, so apparently just the Palace, the Tier 5 faction, is the Imperial Intelligence Agency, or IAA, spends as much time neutralizing internal threats to its own power as it does clashing with Blackthorn Park.
Yep, that's who you were.
So Bane Band, the spy for the Palace.
Yep.
Agent 119.
119.
All right. Love it. Okay, so for the unwind move, everybody clears 1 stress for doing that unwind activity together. And then I'm scrolling back up to, aftermath stuff. So then you're going to do, we're at our free play and, we run the trouble engine too. So we updated. Let's see. It's time to look at faction clocks. So here's we kind of touched on this the last time. Let me go back over to the page that's got all of these different faction clocks on there, and then I have roles that I will make for each of them that will determine how those advance. And several of these you don't know whether they're what they're trying to do in some cases, right? And so if you wanted to find out, you might have to do you might have to do your own sort of investigation on that. So let's see. We would roll per their tier. This is something that it takes a moment to go through. So I was just sort of realizing I could have done this. What I did last time is I did it ahead of time and then just told you what the results were. But let's just do so basically what's going to happen is we're going to roll number of dice based on their tier, modified up or down depending on opposition or circumstances. And then I'm going to have you guys do fortune rolls for me just to determine. And we're going to tick segments, 1 segment for a 1 to 3, 2 for a 4 to 5, 3 for a 6, and so on. And then I will tell you which tier it is. So if you guys are ready to do that. Blackthorn Park, we'll start off with, is a tier 3. And I would say that in the time spent since your last, your last job didn't really interfere with them one way or another, but they do have a primary opposition in the overall goings on of the city. So someone roll a 2d6 fortune roll for them.
I'll do it.
Okay. Okay, well, that's a 6. So they are going to get 3 ticks. And so for the Ministry of Discovery, they are tier 4, but they are also have got some opposition. So someone roll 3d6 for them.
I will do that.
All right. Okay, so that's only highest is a 3, so that's only 1 tick for them. They are finding themselves a little bit stymied. And bear in mind that these ticks can go down if they're like active. Like if you actually intervene and you really do something specific that really would have a dramatic impact on them, then that could remove ticks, for example. Section 6 is a tier 5. They are also going against opposition in this case, so that would be, but someone needs to roll 46 for them.
I can do a 46 roll.
Mm-hmm. And okay, that's 6.
6. Oh boy.
Yeah. So that's 3 for them. 1, 2, 3. Oops, that did 1 too many on there. Youth action movement, I believe, is just a tier 2, but let me confirm that. Youth action movement is, yeah, they're tier 2, and no one is especially like opposing them. They're kind of like doing their own thing right now. So someone roll a 2d6 for them.
I can do it.
All right.
Pair of 5.
5. So that's going to be 2 ticks for them. Lord Skurlock, I believe, is tier 3. And he is another one that no one really knows what he's doing, so he doesn't have active opposition at the moment. So that's 3 for him.
I'll do it.
Oh, excuse me, just 2. Just 2. He is tier 2. Because he is kind of like, he's just a guy. Basically, I think the PCs would know Lord Skurlock as like some old rich guy, right?
He's one of my besties.
Yeah.
He's on my list of friends.
Is he really?
Oh,
yeah.
Wow.
Okay. Oh, okay. Well, we'll have to talk more about that then. I didn't realize that
I was going to bring it up. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So you might. it means, so if you didn't choose him as your best friend, it means you have a contact with him, which means you might be able to ask him for things, but it's not necessarily like your besties. Right.
Yeah.
Which I only just say because it would certainly be something that you could potentially ask him, what he's up to or information, but we might have to do rolls or whatever if we can gather information, that sort of thing. The Strelai is a tier 4 group, and they definitely have opposition right now too, though. So that's 3 for them.
I might as well roll that one.
Yeah, they're your backing faction.
They're my besties.
Yeah.
That's
look
a 6.
at that. That's a crit.
Oh, that's a crit. Yeah.
Yeah. So that actually means I think they get 5 for a crit.
Because it's 2 6s, or?
Well, yeah. So that's a crit.
Or is it just
more
any
than
pair?
1 6.
Got it.
No, it's 2 6s.
Got it.
Right. So I believe So that's
That'll be full.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Interesting. Yeah.
That was the perfect
Oh
time to
gosh,
ask
they
him for something.
acquired the Dunslow meteorite.
Yeah. Interesting. Okay. Gosh, I wasn't expecting to have any of them actually fill up so soon. Well, we'll have to. We'll talk about that. We'll do something with that. Okay, and so now, also because we're at a new downtime phase, we're going to tick the ticking time bomb forward 1.
I'm sure that's fine.
Yeah, I'm not worried about it.
The ticking time bomb I will come back to in a moment, but let's also just do the crew trouble and local trouble moves and escalations, which we can do because there's an existing one in in the mix, because you've got a local trouble patrols at the docks, right? That's already there from before. You currently have 4 heat, right?
Yeah.
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah. So so just noting again that the last time that we did this, we did downtime actions before doing this stuff. But I think that it maybe makes more sense to do it ahead of that. I'm just realizing that.
Well, do you do the trouble engine the first round? Wasn't that an exception?
There's parts of the trouble engine. You don't do the escalations the first time. Yeah, let's see. Heat. Entanglements. So even in the original game, entanglements happens before downtime activities. So I believe that's correct. And so in any case, what that just means is that we are going to do our rolling for crew troubles and local troubles before you have the opportunity to smooth things, which I think makes more sense, really, right? So in any case, the crew trouble is going to be, because we have heat of 4, we're going to roll on the heat 4 to 5 table, but your current wanted level is still 0, I believe.
Yeah.
So that means you're going to roll 0d6, meaning you roll 2 and then you take the lower one on the heat 4 to 5 table.
Who's jumping in? Anybody?
I can do it.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, no.
Wow. Okay. Well,
all right.
That's not the time you actually want to get a crit. It's not a crit. It's just a 6, but it does mean that you have rolled up
2 6s.
A heavy trouble, though.
Oh dear.
Yeah. So now there is a heavy crew troubles table. And so I think because you rolled that, you have the honor of rolling the 1d6 to see what your heavy crew trouble is.
Oh, thank you. Yes.
Well, I was suggesting Mark do it because he just rolled the 2. Oh, but I guess it wasn't
that was
Mark.
Paul.
Never mind.
That was
Paul.
me.
So yes, please go ahead and Paul and roll 1d6. Wow, 6 again.
Oh no.
Arrest. The Bluecoats send a detail to arrest you. which we will get to in a moment when we finish just resolving all of these other things. Okay. Let me adjust the name tag on that one.
Let's see if we get to our next score.
Yep.
All right. So we will get more into that in a moment. Now, local trouble. You're starting with 2d6, and then if you have a negative faction with the citizenry, you don't. You don't have a positive faction status with the citizenry of Silkshore either, so that's neutral. Mm-hmm. No factions are at war currently, no. If any faction clocks have completed that seem like they would upset the status quo, take a -1d. So I think we're going to say yes to that. If the crew has recently taken action to help with local problems, take +1d. And so I think, you know what, I'm actually gonna say that because the clock that completed was your backing faction, Silhouette, I'm gonna not penalize you for that one.
Okay.
So you're still gonna stay with 2d6. In this case, higher is better for this roll.
I can do this one.
Sure.
2d6 and 4.
Okay, so a 4 means there is no new local trouble. However, the next time we do this, you're going to have a -1 die for it. So if someone can put a note for that, like on the crew sheet, maybe. And then now we also have to check to see if the existing trouble of patrols on the docks escalates. Roll dice equal to half the number of ongoing troubles in play rounded up. So that's going to be just 1. 1d6 to see if we get an escalation.
Well, there's
a new one just now, but that's not. This escalations is only for ones that were there already.
Gotcha. Jenny, you want to escalate things?
Yeah.
I'm scared.
I've gotten all the bad rolls already.
Mm-hmm.
We also rolled all the good rolls, though. So just
how many?
Just one. Just one.
Just one.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we can't crit.
Yeah. And in this case, low is again what you would prefer.
Uh-oh.
Okay. Well, so 5 means there's 1 escalation, which, it means our patrols of the docks is that local trouble is going to escalate. Let's see. I think that I'm just going to say that in line with this arrest crew trouble, I'm going to say that the patrols expands. So it's now not just the docks, but also Silkshore. Which is your home turf, which does, potentially complicate things. So, troubles in detail. Patrols means that for scores in that district, you're going to have a -1d to the engagement roll because there's just a lot of blue coats around. So that's all that means there. But let's talk about arrest. Arrest. So the Bluecoats send a detail to arrest you. And this is, I think, perfectly in keeping with our whole story, because you recall when you went to reduce the heat last time, we established that there were a bunch of the Bluecoats that got beat up in that building lobby that kind of resented, like, the bosses saying, leave them alone, deprioritize your investigation into inSPECTRE. And so maybe what you got is some real cowboy Bluecoat who has decided he's got it in for you, and he's actually going to try to, go rogue. He's a loose cannon. maybe his boss, his sergeant's gonna demand his badge and gun after this, but he's coming after you regardless. So what this means is, raid, the scale of the arrest detail is equal to your wanted level at a minimum. Pay them off with stacks equal to your wanted level +4.
Oh.
Or hand over someone for arrest, or defend against the raid. And I think in this context, because your wanted level is 0, and we've just talked about it, I think basically what we've got is just this guy. Now, this guy is perhaps, let's invent a name for this rogue cop here, rogue blue coat here. I've got some names that I can look, tables that I can look at if no one has anything that jumps right up to mind.
Jaxon with an X.
Jaxon with an X. Okay, and then is that his first name or last name?
That's his last name.
Last name Jaxon with an X.
Pollock Jackson?
Yes.
Well, so I was going to say there's a list of Booker Jaxon.
Yeah, that works.
Booker Jaxon, the cop that not like, there's an element where like he has burning in his heart a desire for righteous revenge against you guys for beating him up in that lobby, and it might really be a sort of you're like, wait, who are you situation.
What?
But he's coming after you, so he's trying to do this raid. And so what that means is you all have an option now where you could try to bribe him. You do have enough with that four stacks you just got. Or you could offer someone up for arrest. That could be one of you all, or you could have it could be Slade. Or if we establish, or one of the informants, right? Like it could potentially be, you could have it be an NPC. The way it works, if you, if a cohort, or there's also, by framing a scapegoat for your crimes, there's one option, and then there's also if you have a cohort that takes the rap, you can do that as well.
I like the idea
or
of
defend against the raid, which potentially might.
Could we kill him?
Well, or we would
killing
have
is bad.
We would have to figure out what it means narratively, like what would you do?
Yeah.
Right?
I don't know.
Killing's no good. It just attracts attention. We need to do
Who's
something.
Jaxon?
Yep.
We need to make sure that he doesn't want to come after us because his own life is in shambles.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I like that too. Or, like we could defend, try and knock him out, and then like have him wake up on the set of a, swingers movie surrounded by naked women and men and drugs.
So are we back to bribing him then?
No, we're framing him.
Framing him.
To him. Like we're going to use him to frame him.
No.
So there is rules for how to do a raid engagement role if that's what you were going to do. But if it sounds like you're talking about some other sort of like a narrative setup that would be like not bribing him, but like sort of the equivalent of trying to set up a scapegoat.
Framing
Smearing him, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So framed scapegoat, there is a mechanic for that. And so I think, let's see, framing a scapegoat. Let's see, I think by framing scapegoat for your crimes, it doesn't actually talk about like roles to make that succeed. It sort of implies you can just decide to do it, but there's potentially consequences for it. Because like whoever it is that you frame might be mad about it, right? But so yeah, tell me, you all are hanging out. You're trying to enjoy some downtime, and all of a sudden, like bam, 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 bam. Actually, you know what? Let's take it back because you've got a hidden base, right? So let's not unmake that you've got a hidden base just because of this. I think what has happened is that this guy has spotted you on the street. Like he knows you operate in Silk Shore. The patrols have been in the area. He heard that someone spotted you, and so he's basically like charging in to like demand that you all surrender and submit yourselves for arrest. And I think, it's clear he doesn't have anyone else with him, but he does have a gun, and he is, like he's holding it like down. He's not leveling it at you, but he's just kind of like, surrender nice and quiet, and we can make sure that this goes well for you. But otherwise, I don't know what's going to happen.
So I kind of imagine we have that 70s spy sort of thing. All four of us, including Slade, are walking out to the van discussing something stupid, maybe like local politics versus cartoons. We have that split screen of us there. He walks around the corner and he yells. We look, and it's like close up of the eyes in 4 different sections, and just, oh shit.
I'm suggesting a face casting here of Michael being like from like 80s era. This is the guy who is Kyle Reese in Terminator, and he's also in and so he's got like not just 5 o'clock shadow, but like 3-day growth, like scruffy short brown hair, trench coat.
Might have a black eye from where we were beating him up.
Yeah.
Does he smell like alcohol? I think that's the important question.
Well, I think so. Let's decide that. I was thinking that he is kind of like, a little bit of a loose cannon, but wouldn't drink on the job. Heavy drinker off duty. That's what that's my vibe.
Yeah, but is he on duty? He was told.
Well, yeah.
I mean, he's coming for the arrest.
He's driven.
Here, but we could do a fortune roll to see, did he find you when he was on duty and he's sober, or does he?
Yeah,
sure.
Let's do
or
it.
did he have to get some liquid courage in him to even attempt this?
Yeah.
So let's do a 1d6 and say if he's if it's a 5 or a 6, then he's drunk.
Okay. Can I roll it?
Yep. Sure.
No.
So nope, not drunk. He's gonna get drunk later, depending on how this goes. But yeah. So what's the plan? He's demanding that you surrender. But I think there's an element where you realize he's looking at the 4 of you, the 3 PCs and Slade, and realizing I may be out a little bit over my skis here. But he's trying to just bullshit his way through by implying that he's got it under control.
I'm just going to kind of look at Slade and be like, what did you do?
Throwing Slade under the bus?
No, just like, because we don't know who this guy is. We're like, why is this guy here arresting us?
He looks
we
vaguely
don't know
familiar. And that bruise looks kind of like my hand.
I think Slade would say, honestly, I don't know who this is.
Neither do I. I wasn't there, so I don't know who this is.
I think Detective Jaxon says, you don't need to know who I am. I'm the Bluecoats. That's who I am.
Wait, do we not know, but you just told us?
You look to be a little haggard and out of your jurisdiction.
Yeah.
Maybe you need to arrest or something.
Well, this whole city is my jurisdiction. The Bluecoats keep this city safe from the criminal scum like you.
But that coat's not blue. Like, how do we know you're really a blue coat?
You want to see my badge? Is that what you're asking me?
I mean, that's the standard thing if you're going to say you're an officer.
He shows you his badge.
Anybody could have one of those.
Yeah, I've seen those in the shops.
Let me take a closer look and see if this is real.
Got it out of a Cracker Jack box like that.
So, I mean, I think it is real. Tell me if you're trying to do something here.
No, we're just like being smartasses.
Yeah, no, I know. I'm just saying. I'm not trying to get you to stop being smartasses, but I think he is getting more agitated at you not following his instructions.
I'm
Because
tempted to steal the badge, actually.
Make a move, man.
Like hand it back to him, but also like pocket it
I
at
don't
the
think he
same
hands
time.
it to you. He's holding it out for you to look at.
Yeah,
He's not
yeah, yeah.
handing it over.
Let me get a
This
piece
is a
of
cop.
paper.
He's got a gun drawn.
I want to write down this number so I can complain to your superiors about your reckless
conduct.
actions.
Yeah, you know where you can do that? Downtown at the station. So come along with me.
But what are the charges? I mean, how do you even know who you're arresting? I can't think of any reason we'd be getting arrested.
Assault of multiple federal officers in the process of fleeing a murder scene for one. I guess that's actually for two. And because it was multiple officers, it's a multiple counts.
Oh, I wasn't there.
Wow, I don't know what kind of
no idea what you're talking about.
That
I didn't drive the getaway
looks
car.
really bad. Did you get any treatment for that?
Are you trying to? So if you're just like lying about it, are you trying to do like a sway here?
Yeah.
I'm going to say right now it's risky and limited because he does recognize you. We've established this that he.
I'm also risky and limited myself, but.
Yeah. So and what is
limited.
this? What is the goal with this way? Are you literally trying to gaslight him and make him really doubt it, or are you just trying to persuade him to go away? Because there's two different things there, right?
I mean, I physically was not in the lobby when that was going on. I was just an accessory.
Well, okay, but you're there in the group with them. I think you're probably right that you would not be his primary target for arrest here, but you are in the company of the people that are.
Yeah.
Yeah. So someone trying to actually make a move here?
You want to gaslight him?
I mean, I want to. This is going to go very badly.
Do it.
Yeah, I got nothing I can put into this, so straight up.
I will. Can I like help him and give him an extra dice and take some stress?
Yeah.
All right, I will do that.
It's a shame this is happening before you had an opportunity to reduce some stress.
Yeah.
Hey, I reduced one stress. That was great.
Yeah, I did too.
So this is risky standard still?
Well, it's risky limited.
Risky limited. Okay.
Yeah. I think that we've got a 4-count clock here to actually resolve this problem without someone going to jail.
Okay.
And I'm going to also set a separate 4-count clock, which is he's calling for reinforcements. Because he's got a radio. He hasn't called anyone yet. He's trying to do this on his own first because he knows if he calls, he might just run and then it turns into a chase. So he's trying to not do that first. He's trying to just talk you down first. So we've got competing 4-count clocks here.
All right, and I get one bonus die from red. Okay. Yeah, this is gonna go badly. There it is.
Okay, risky limited 1. I think that
he's gonna shoot me. I think.
Well, I think that what he's not gonna shoot you because you're just talking. But I do think he is going to grab you and start trying to put cuffs on you.
Okay.
And so that is a consequence that you can resist. And so basically I'm saying like he's going to grab you and start to cuff you. If you want to resist that, you need to do a resist roll.
Yeah, I will try. Is that a prowess resistance?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, this is gonna go badly too.
Nice.
Okay. Aha. So 6 minus the highest die, which means that you do resist it. So it's not a critical, but you do resist. So you are able to keep yourself from getting cuffed. How do you do that? Do you just pull away? You don't.
No, I think it's one of those almost comedic, stupid hand motion things where he keeps trying to put the cuffs on, and I just keep reaching down. I pull up a cigarette at one point, and the cuff goes by or whatever, and he just kind of keeps moving around him. He's limping a little bit, and his hands are shaking because the electrocution is still bothering him. So he's smoking all he can to try to get his heart rate down.
Okay.
But it just kind of has that weird comedic, like, probably frustrating, stand still, you idiot kind of moment.
Okay, all right. So I think this is fun, but like at the same time, um, he's serious. He's not just going to go away. You're going to need to do something. So right now, you have so far managed to avoid being put into cuffs, but he is getting more agitated. And I'm going to go ahead and tick his call for reinforcements clock 1.
I wonder if I can maneuver him so that he's in a vulnerable position for the other 2.
I mean, yeah, or
who's
like
got sway? Who's got points in sway?
We don't have a face.
I have nothing. I have 1 point in sway, and that's it.
Okay, well, we have 0. I mean, maybe you can convince him that someone else that he doesn't want us. He wants the mastermind, and try and frame someone.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean,
Okay.
I think that is something that he is potentially like open to. Like he's specifically mad at you for beating them up, but he does, I think his detective instincts tell him that something's funny about what's going on there, and he doesn't have the whole picture. And in fact, he is actually maybe starting to say, listen, I know that there's something big going on in here. If you come into the station, you tell me what's going on, we can protect you. That sort of thing. But so let's see who's making this sway.
I am.
All
right. And
so this is still risky, but I'd say this is a standard effect.
Okay. Standard. Oh God, here we go.
I don't know if you have the stress to push things, but you could also do a devil's bargain, for example.
I could do a devil's bargain. I do not have stress. I only have 2 left.
Yeah. So if you want the devil's bargain in this case would be I'm going to put a second tick in the call for reinforcements clock either way.
Okay.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Right, so take your extra die.
All right, here we go. I'm closing my eyes because I don't want to
know.
Yeah.
Okay. So with a 5 as your result, that's where's my I think that's 2. That's 2 out of 4. So now we're at 2 out of 4 on both sides of this. Where, so what do you say? What are you?
I'm just like, there were a lot of people in that building. I mean, just because we were leaving it doesn't mean we were involved.
That's not really what you said you were doing. I gave you standard effect because you were trying to imply that don't you want to know who's really
okay.
involved?
You're right.
Because the thing is, he saw Vesper and Falwell. Like he knows that they were there. And so if the standard effect was for suggesting to him that if he doesn't arrest you, maybe you could give him a tip on someone bigger.
Right.
That's what the standard was for.
Okay. Yeah, I will say, we were just like, it was a setup. Like we weren't there to cause trouble.
So, setup, huh?
Yeah.
I wondered why, what was going on there. So there was supposed to be some kind of handoff, like something was in that safe that blew up. What was it?
I mean,
can I give
it's just a briefcase.
I mean, you guys can do whatever you want.
I mean, it was just a briefcase. I mean, we didn't even open it. I don't know what's in it.
Do you still have it?
Not on us.
Yeah, well, maybe turn in this briefcase. We can take a look at it at the station. We can find out if this is something that we could make a deal.
Yeah, you'll have to let us bring it in. Like, how long are you there?
Because it's worth noting that it is already established too, and this is part of the patrols. And you had a contact named Luis who has been roughed up by some bluecoats who have been looking for a briefcase of stolen documents.
Yeah,
So when
but
you
I
say
mean, we could.
briefcase, yeah, he's thinking, oh,
Mhm.
okay.
He could be
Yeah,
the big damn hero.
Yeah.
yeah, he could be, but you see, when he's not looking, I psychically send you both messages letting you know we're not giving him that briefcase. We will give
Okay.
him a briefcase.
All right.
I think as this is going on and Syl is kind of still walking around, he's
Mm-hmm.
babbling, and what the others hear is him say, "So what do you mean is you come down to our hood?" And he kind of pulls, as if he's grasping over his head, and try to knock us about, and are getting into trouble when you really should be somewhere else. And hopefully they're understanding that he's intending for them to bag him, tag him, and put him somewhere else.
I
So
don't
It's
have
still
that
kind
kind of
of
muscle.
I mean,
one
I
one
don't.
one
I'm not
shoulder's
going to make
kind
you
of low.
roll. I'll just let you,
Yeah.
as party members, decide how that communication plays. But I think that it's not going to be long before he's going to start figuring out that
Yeah,
you're not
Yep.
all on the same page here.
yeah.
All right, either we're going with the fake briefcase. I'm in on the fake briefcase.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
I
Okay.
think, but here's the thing, officer. You can't come with us to get it.
Okay.
There are rules in this society, you know. You don't need to know where we go, but we will get the briefcase and bring it to you.
What's my guarantee that you show up again?
You can have my watch.
Let's
It's
try
like
another sway, unless you want it to be something else.
that's like the only thing I could think of.
Yeah.
I mean, I will try it.
Yeah. So
But I'm
I think he's
making a bargain.
suspicious. This seems like a risky limited to me because it sounds like you're trying to just get away and not give him anything.
Oh
Right?
no, I'm fully
I
intending,
sure.
just so you know.
But this is why he's still
Yeah.
suspicious, right? So
Yeah.
you know, if you
Mhm.
get a limited, you'll get one tick and get up to 3 out of 4. But you know,
Oops.
potentially. So
Okay, so
and I'll offer that same devil's bargain where, you know, because he's getting more and more agitated as the things are going. So, you know, I can tick the call for reinforcements up to 3, if you want an extra die.
yeah. Okay, and you said this was risky.
Risky
Standard?
limited. Risky
Oh,
limited.
limited. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, here we go. My devil's bargain.
Okay.
A 5.
So with a 5, that means you do get the limited effect. But so yeah, so he is kind of like, okay, well, I'm gonna need, just to be clear, you know, I'm willing to bargain with you in good faith here. But believe me, if you try to screw me on this, then there's going to be consequences. It's not going to be just me banging down your door looking for this thing, because now you've told me you've got it, and we're gonna come after it. So
I get it.
okay, so where would
I mean,
we meet?
Slade, would you be willing to stay here with this gentleman while we go back to the base?
I think Slade gives you this like, what the fuck are you talking about? I think he doesn't say no, but he's giving you a look like, what?
We will be right back. You have my word. We will be coming right back.
Yeah, he says, he turns to look at the detective and just like, yeah, I'll stay right here and they'll come right back. And he's just still looking at you like, what is this? But he's following your lead though.
Okay, so then we leave.
Okay.
And go back to our hideout.
Uh-huh.
And we take the briefcase.
Mm-hmm.
And we take the stuff out of it. and
Just
we
to be
find
clear,
some.
you're very close here to just accidentally turning this into cohort takes the rap.
No, we're going back.
Sure.
I mean, I swear
Okay.
we are. We are going back. So we take what was like the documents that we got out of it, and we put some other like seemingly important documents in it, and like swap them out. So we keep them.
All right. So what are these other seemingly important documents?
Maybe we got some stuff when we got our new our new crew members, like when we were rifling through their stuff and taking things.
Oh yeah,
I would say
there we
that
go.
maybe it was like something from there that they were that would fall back on the guy who was like their boss at that time.
Okay. Yeah, the Limmerfield gang is who they
Yeah.
So they might have access to something that would be good. So this would be something where you could roll your informant's claim, right? Now their normal ability is giving you plus in more dice when you do an engagement roll, but I think we could also use them as a cohort in this context, right? By when you have this cohort, they are they're I think we didn't really decide because they're not officially a cohort, but we could use them this way. And they were from tier 2, so I would say you could roll 2d6 to see if they've got something that'll work here.
What am I rolling?
It would be a fortune roll in this context because it's well, no, it's not a fortune roll because it is still going to have the this is a cohort roll. Is there when you send a cohort to achieve a goal, roll their quality and see how it goes. So it's 2d6. I mean, the risky, it's still risky, and I'll say standard in this case.
Oh.
Is it an engagement roll?
We have.
Like on our crew sheet?
Yeah. We have, as part of our crew upgrades, secret maps and various keys and passcodes.
Okay. You're going to give some of those up?
So we could give some actual info up that would hurt whoever else's the codes are.
Yeah, but I think if you put those in, you don't still have them.
True. So that's an option anyway.
Well, we could always get some more later.
Well, potentially. I think that, like, obviously, if you wanted to give those up, I wouldn't make you roll. I would just say you could just do that. But
I mean, if we did that, we're losing an asset, but we're sending the blue coats in the wrong direction, doing a whole lot of messing up and that's someone else's business.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like
Which means that we could be promoting the bad guys' other plans, but at least we're in the clear until the bomb drops.
I mean, it's not.
I think mechanically you are giving up a crew advance in order to just not make a roll, essentially.
There is that.
So
yeah, I mean, I can make a roll. Is it an engagement roll?
No, it's not an engagement roll. It is just it's a quality roll, but you could just roll.
There's another thought here. Crash, you're very capable of a lot of crazy things. If you could make some adjustments to this case, one, making it really hard to open, and two, possibly exploding when it comes open, or maybe just incinerating everything that's inside so nothing's left but ashes.
I like that.
Oh!
Yeah.
That's fun.
I like that idea a lot.
And we can even tell them, look, we haven't been able to open it yet, so we don't really know what's in here, but everybody seems to be excited.
And we know, make sure they know we don't want it. Like,
well,
there's all this
and
heat
just
around
like the idea of trying to make it look like you gave it up in good faith and it had a self-destruct that it's now his fault.
Yes.
That's a very cool idea.
And if they think it's the real case, because they'll see it's the real case, maybe they'll get off our case for a while.
So I think we're still making a roll here, but it's a wrench roll. It's your wrench roll for your inventions and stuff.
Yes.
Yeah. So I think that's risky, and I'm going to say that's a potentially great effect. What that will mean here, because even just one tick will fill the clock, but narratively, the level of your effect will also just It's like not just does it get him to go away, but also like what other follow-up might happen as a result. Because if you give him something less impressive, it might get him to go away for now, but we would probably leave him as someone who does still have it out for you, right?
Right.
But if you had something that was potentially like really embarrassing for him, maybe he just leaves you alone.
Oh, one more thing. And I'll take the actual documents
Mm-hmm.
and I'll rip one corner so that some of the words are still on there and
Mm-hmm.
make sure that's in there. So when they search, they
Mm-hmm.
might still find something
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
value.
Fun. Okay, so I think let's actually do this. Um, you have as a normal downtime action that you could do. This seems like something that we're doing it slightly out of order, but as a normal downtime activity, you could try to make an invention, right? And that sounds to me like maybe what we're doing here. Um, where is this? Inventing and crafting. Um, a 4 o'clock is a modification to an existing item.
Is that something you can spend stacks on?
I believe you can. Let's see, because I think usually with any and there's also, if you're in a hurry, jury rigging. You can jury rig an invention with one roll, no clock needed. Make a tinker or wrench roll. The result indicates the quality of the invention, but a jury rigged gadget only lasts one score. So I think that's probably what we would use.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's have you make the wrench roll, and essentially that's the level of your result is going to determine how quality this thing is.
Okay, so it's risky great.
Yes. Well, so ultimately we're just going to go by, the great is kind of moot because we're just going to go based on how good the thing you make is.
Okay.
Okay. A 4 means that this is a standard thing, which means that what I would say is, when you have produced this thing, that it will do what you intend. But depending, it's the sort of thing where, like, if someone with real know-how did a really serious evaluation on it, like, theoretically, they could maybe figure out that the documents that were burned inside were not the real ones. But you think that it will work here.
Okay.
So you tell me what it looks like. Is it just the same briefcase and it's
the same briefcase. The latches have been jimmied so that they will not open. It feels like it's locked. And like, even if you try and pick the lock, there's no mechanism there. It won't work. So the only way in is to force it. And if you force it, if you cut it open, like if they try and rip it open without dealing with the lock, anything is going to set off the incendiary inside. And it's designed not to hurt anyone, just to concentrate the heat on the papers, except for that little corner of the real document that's been like wedged into the lining. And so, afterward they can find a piece of the real document, and this was the briefcase.
Yeah.
So it all goes up in smoke.
I think that, because this actually, I think we're going to do a separate fortune roll, because if this is something that is persuasive enough that the bluecoats think they've found the briefcase, but that it's now destroyed, then the extra patrols to keep looking for it maybe stop. Maybe. But then there's an element to which would just say, well, if you can't be sure that's what it was, then you need to keep looking, right?
And we could, if we wanted to, do a downtime activity to seed the rumor that yes, it was found and destroyed.
Yeah. So I think we'll do a separate roll to see if that has an effect on the ongoing trouble, because that could be fun just narratively. But in any case, I think what this does do is that you hand over the briefcase, and it's already got like the scorch marks and the weathering from before,
and the impacts from the blowing up safe.
And so I think that he takes it and he just says, "It's locked. Can't you open it?"
No, that was part of the problem. Look, frankly, it's too hot for us anyway, so I'm sure you and the Bluecoats have a much better lab than we could ever manage to scrape together.
All right, well, you did the right thing turning this in. So maybe in the heat of the moment, we can overlook a little bit of misunderstanding there in the lobby. Because this is a big deal, and so you've done the right thing here.
You're being very, very professional and very profound, sir.
If we open this thing up and it's not what you say, though.
Hey, we don't know what it is. We never got that far.
All right. Okay, so I think he leaves with it, and you'll.
And I'm just like, Slade, you have to trust me.
I think when Slade is just sitting there with kind of a sulky expression when you show back up, but then when it works and he leaves, he's pretty impressed. But then I think just after the detective leaves, he just turns to you and says, "That guy has terrible taste in movies."
Really? What was he recommending?
He likes these like he calls them like the hard-boiled detective stories, but like the ones he's talking about are like for kids.
Oh wow!
The one with the cartoon dog?
I was gonna say that. That's the first thing that popped into my mind.
I mean, who gives a dog a police license anyway?
So, in any case, well done. You have avoided arrest in this circumstance. I think narratively, if this becomes a bigger deal where it's not just one guy, it might be more difficult than that. But for now, let's see. And so let's do a fortune roll. Let's do a fortune roll because you got your standard effect on that. Let's call that a 2d6 fortune roll. We'll see what the best one is, and just like the higher the result, the more effective this was in terms of turning down the heat on those patrols.
I can take it.
Genius, Mark. Do you want to roll it?
Yeah, Mark.
Yeah, so it's all on me, as you're saying.
Genius, Mark.
Kaboom! There's a 6.
Look at that. That's a 6.
Nice.
Yeah. I think. Yeah. I think that. I think that we remove the arrest, and I think the local trouble goes away too. They're no longer searching for the briefcase because they think they found it, and I think you don't get to ever find out exactly what happens with the briefcase, but what you know is the patrols of Bluecoats roughing people up looking for a briefcase. Stop.
Yep. And so if we ever see this guy again, our assumption is that he found what they were looking for.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but if he's been kicked off the force by then, it's a whole other kind of
or if he's
vengeance.
Like missing fingers or something because he was the one who tried to open it.
Just, I think just based on the way we've narratively described this guy, if he's a rogue loose cannon cop who's suspended for screwing something up, does that mean he stops looking for the truth? Probably not. But
I think we just built a villain.
Or Fox Mulder.
Actually, opposition. We're the villains.
Yeah.
Well, are you though? Like
you're the smoking man,
which is not necessarily the same as villains, right? But in any case, though, quick question for the group here. We did talk about this potentially being a shorter session, and so this would actually potentially be a reasonable stopping point, even though we did not even get to the actual downtime activities. But if that works for everybody, we could do that, or we could do some downtime, however you would prefer.
I was hoping to stop early because I got to be
Okay.
up early in the morning.
I
Yeah, I
had
got a
that
crap ton of
feeling,
things
and
to do.
so in any case, even if it was a shorter session, that was kind of fun, and so we will be able to return and find out what happens with the downtime next, and then you'll have to pick your next job as well. So we'll leave it there for now, and we will return next time for more adventure on so many levels.
So
So
many
many
levels.
spy
And
movies.
papers, man.